Baseball Classic pool day is done. The quarterfinal games are set.
Good reading.
Korea versus Dominican Republic. USA versus Canada. Go USA. Puerto Rico versus Italy. Venezuela versus Japan. USA got lucky that Italy beat Mexico and got them there. Even their manager is a big dum-dum.
Keep going.
Vinny Pasquantino makes history with the first 3 home run games in World Baseball Classic history. Japan and Dominican Republic appear headed to the semis clash. Don't sleep on Italy. They're better than you think. Time for our predictions.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys predict the winners. All right?
Me?
Yeah, both of you.
Of who?
Korea versus Dominican Republic. Who's going to win?
Who's Dominican Republic?
It's a country.
Wait, what's the other one? I think
Korea?
Japan is going to win.
Well, that's not what I'm asking yet. Korea or Dominican Republic?
Korea. Caribbean Republic.
All right, you say Korea, you say Dominican Republic?
Yeah.
All right. USA versus Canada.
USA. USA.
Puerto Rico versus Italy.
Italy.
I'm
thinking. Dad, I'm thinking. Italy.
All right, Jackson's
I'm
locked in
not
for
sure
Italy.
on that one.
Well, you got to pick one.
I guess Italy.
All right, Venezuela or Japan?
Japan. Wait, what's the other one?
Venezuela or Japan?
Venezuela.
All right, so now we got to do separately because you have different teams. Dominican Republic or USA?
USA.
Italy or Venezuela?
Italy.
USA or Italy?
USA.
All right, Jackson's got USA winning the whole thing. You had Korea or USA?
USA.
You're not in the camera.
Oh.
And then Italy or Japan?
Italy.
Ooh, that's a big upset. You got 2 big upsets. USA or Italy?
USA.
All right, we got 2 USA winners. Where do you guys live?
USA.
Yeah, that makes sense.
USA and
Okay. We don't need to do all
the
that.
house.
I'll cut that part out. We don't need to do that. I meant USA.
Oh.
Sorry. All right. Anything else, guys?
I just ate bacon. And I have to go to chorus in 10 minutes.
Good to know. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
Hearts all over the world, people.
You know who plays on the Dominican Republic team?
No.
Juan Soto. And you picked them to lose.
Oh?
I'm just kidding.
I did.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right. We good?
If you don't think any of them are going to win, you're going to get a squirt. Squirt.
Or Pikachu is going to thunder shock and electrocute you.
And Bulbasaur is going to do Vine Whip. And Charmander is going to do... They're both Pokemon lovers. I don't know what he does.
He'll do Flamethrower.
Wap. And Totodile. Can I show Patrick?
He'll do Bubble Beam.
Can I show Patrick?
I guess.
What is Bubble Beam? My dad has this on his wall.
Yep.
Is this the Krusty Krabs? No,
this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krabs? No, this is Patrick. Is this the Krusty... Oh.
All right, that's too much, buddy.
He ate you.
All right, let's get into the episode. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, you heard it here first. USA is going to win the World Baseball Classic Final, according to my children. They haven't watched. Actually, my son has been watching quite a bit of it with me. My daughter has not watched a single pitch. My son also is, I think, a bigger Juan Soto fan than anybody else, but he didn't know that he plays for the Dominican Republic, or he didn't put that together in this moment. We've watched the Dominican Republic play, so he's seen it, but he's also really young. So, USA is going to win, even though their manager is a moron, as they told you. Their words, not mine. Thank you to Italy for even giving US a chance. Or else it would have been the most catastrophic failure in American sports, I think. If USA did not, with this lineup, with this team, Aaron Judge bringing everybody with him, if they didn't get out of pool play, this would have been the most catastrophic failure in American sports. And that's saying something. But, all right. World Baseball Classic episode number 2. Quarterfinals are set. Pool play is officially done. Games start tomorrow, Friday. We got Korea and Dominican Republic at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then USA-Canada at 8 Eastern Time. And then on Saturday, we have Puerto Rico and Italy at 3. And Venezuela at Japan at 9 p.m. I will say, I got nearly everything right. The bracket that I created almost could still be used if it wasn't for USA, Mexico, Italy situation. I picked USA to be the 1 seed and Mexico to be 2. Turns out Italy was 1 and US was 2, so I got those 2 wrong. And then I got all the other 6 right. My semifinal matchups are still possible. No, they're not. My semifinal matchups were, I think, Venezuela and Canada, and then U.S. and Dominican Republic, if I remember correctly. Japan is better than I thought they were going to be. Or, not better than I thought they were going to be. We'll get into it. All right, I'm going to go game by game. Korea versus Dominican Republic. This Dominican Republic team looks absolutely unstoppable on offense. They are scoring over 10 runs a game. It's the best offense in the tournament. They're first in average. They're first in on base. They're first in slugging. They're hitting home runs. They're getting on base. They're just hitting the ball hard every which way. They are fun. They're having more fun than anybody else in this tournament. It's just, it's a spectacle every time they play. You have to watch them. It's so much fun. The bullpen is sick. The starters can be had, especially now that we're moving on to the second and third rounds where the pitch count numbers are moving up to 80 and then I think 90, 80 and 90, 80 and 100. I don't remember what it is for the finals, but in the quarterfinals, the pitch count is 80, which could leave the starter in for 6 or 7 innings if they're pitching well, or if they're struggling, it could allow less of that bullpen to be a major factor in the game, which would hurt Dominican Republic a bit. But I think their offense is going to counteract almost anything. The only team that I think that can contain that offense would be Japan and US because of the pitching. Korea, they had a fight to get here. They struggled in pool play. They lost games 2 and 3 to Japan and Chinese Taipei, putting them behind the 8 ball. They had to beat Australia by 5 or more runs while allowing 2 runs or less. They needed a very specific score, and they got the very specific score. They won 7-2 against Australia, won by 5, kept them down to 2, and they scored that 7th run in the 9th inning. After Australia, it was actually kind of funny watching that game. In the 8th inning, or the 7th inning, 7th or 8th inning, Australia scored their 2nd run to go down 6-2, and they were celebrating as if they won the World Series. It's Chris Paul hitting a 3 down by 40. Meme type situation. They scored to make themselves losing 6-2, and were celebrating like they had won the World Series, because if that score would have stuck, they would be moving on and Korea would not. Unfortunately, Korea scored in the 9th to go up 7-2. Australia could not tack on another run to cut the deficit. They end up losing 7-2. They end up missing out. Korea did not have it easy. And to reward themselves for the fight to get through pool play, they get an opening matchup with the Dominican Republic. I have looked in every which way, and I cannot find a way that Korea wins this game. I can't. I cannot see it happening. I think the Dominican Republic's offense is going to just obliterate this Korean pitching staff. I don't see a way for them to win this game. I just don't. USA versus Canada. USA versus Canada is, kind of a ongoing theme at the moment in international sporting events with women's Olympic hockey, men's Olympic hockey, now men's World Baseball Classic. Offense is very slow to get going. I don't know what it is about this offense. If you look at the numbers, they're elite. And what you expect. You look at the names, this is like as good an offense as Dominican. Like the names are there. They're in the tournament. They're first in hits, first in walks, second in runs scored, fourth in batting average. You would think with these numbers, they would be obliterating people. It is skewed a little bit because in the wins over Green Bay, I've said that in my head like 5 times because I always write GB, and it's just football brain takes me to Green Bay. The runs are skewed a bit because of the big wins over Great Britain and Brazil. In those 2 games, they scored 24 runs. In the games against Italy and Mexico, they only scored 11. So it is skewed by beating up on the bad teams. But that's kind of the way it works in all sports. The offense doesn't seem to get going until like inning 5 in the games against Italy and Mexico. The games against quality opponents. The offense is very, very slow to get going. Michael Lorenzen shut them down in the Italy game, in the Mexico game. The same thing. Like they just could not get things going. They had 1 inning where they scored 5 runs. They exploded for 5 runs. And then nothing the rest of the way. With Italy, if they had 2 extra innings, they probably would have won. Maybe they only needed 1 extra inning because they just needed Pete Crow Armstrong to come up again. He was trying to single-handedly beat Italy. They need to get going earlier, especially at this point in the tournament. Now you need to get started sooner. The bullpen has been shaky until you get to the 8th and 9th inning. The David Bednar, Mason Miller combo, that's hard to beat. Mason Miller is the best reliever in the sport. And David Bednar is extremely good. Larger pitch counts will help because what U.S. has over almost everybody in this tournament is starting pitching. Obviously, the big loser left already, so we're not even going to mention his name. He who must not be named is no longer with the team. I don't care about him. He's dead to me. We still got Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens is the best pitcher on the planet. He is probably lined up for the Dominican potential matchup in the semis should U.S. beat Canada. But Logan Webb is probably the least talked about great starter in Major League Baseball. They got him, they got Skeens, and then if they get to the finals, you figure it out. But the starting pitching, if you can get Logan Webb to go 6 and you can get Paul Skeens to go 6 or 7 with an 80 pitch count, that's a cheat code that other teams don't have. Also, I wanted to mention the coach is a moron. I don't think I've ever said that before, so I want to make sure I say that because he is a complete moron and should be fired immediately and never coach Team USA in anything ever again. But I digress. Canada, same thing. Bats need to wake up. The bats have been really slow. They got fortunate. If you watched the game against Cuba, Cuba's defense looked like the Benchwarmers. If you've seen that movie, it was so bad. They were dropping pop-ups. They were throwing balls all over the field. It was a disaster. So they got fortunate with some really poor. I think they would have won anyway, but it definitely helped. Pitching has been extremely good. They're second in the tournament in ERA. They have not allowed a home run yet. Josh Naylor needs to be better. He is the captain of this team. He is the best player on this team. He is the 3-hole hitter. He is the threat to opposing pitching, and he has done nothing. He needs to be better, especially if you're going to compete with a team like USA. And USA has their downfall, their negative qualities. Don't get me wrong. Canada, Josh Naylor needs to be a factor if they're going to beat US. He just does. Puerto Rico versus Italy. This is like a underrated, really good matchup. Puerto Rico pitching has been absolutely dominant. They're first in ERA. They're first in average against. They have not allowed a home run. Fourth in strikeouts. Fourth in whip. The pitching has carried them through the first 4 games. They were fortunate, I think, that Cuba didn't bring a lot of their MLB talent. Cuba missed out on, I would say, 6 names that could have made a huge difference on their team. But Puerto Rico gets the benefit of that. You got to play against who they have. Like, it's not your fault that they didn't come. Puerto Rico's also missing Francisco Lindor. They're missing people too. But they only had 1 home run in their 4 games. They're 10th in runs, 11th in average. They need more offense. Italy can hit. Italy can pitch. The Puerto Rico team is going to have to hit more. They're just going to. Italy is a lot better than I gave them credit for. And I thought they were going to be good. I mentioned in the preview episode that the second seed in Pool B was a difficult choice for me between Mexico and Italy. I ultimately chose Mexico because of their history, more so than just the raw talent on the team. I also thought their pitching was going to be better. The Italy pitching has really surprised me. Lorenzen and Aaron Nola were absolutely dominant in their games against U.S. and Mexico. Absolutely dominant. Between the two of them, I think they went 9 2/3 of scoreless baseball against 2 very potent lineups. That's really impressive. Vinny Pasquantino finally woke up. He was pretty much dormant for the first 3 games and then broke out for 3 home runs against Mexico, becoming the first player to hit 3 home runs in a game in World Baseball Classic history. I love the espresso celebration. I think it's so cool. It's so authentically Italian. It's just awesome. The kiss on each cheek. It's so authentically Italian. I love it. Offense has been great. They are second in home runs, second in slugging, third in average. This lineup is so much better than I thought it was going to be. It's crazy. I'm really excited for this game. I don't think either of these teams is going to make a deep run to the finals. But I think this is going to be a really competitive, really fun baseball game. Finally, Venezuela versus Japan. I think this is actually my favorite matchup of the quarterfinals. My pre-tourney bracket had Venezuela beating Japan in the quarterfinals. In this game specifically. I don't think it's going to happen now. But I have to stick to my guns and say Venezuela was my pick. Sorry. Something in my throat. I think I underestimated I don't know how to word this. So in World Baseball Classics of yesteryear, Japan has obviously been very dominant, winning 3 of the 5 classics that we've had. They have been extremely successful. They dominate the world scene when it comes to baseball. But U.S. had never gotten their entire collective of players to commit. This year they did. Dominican Republic usually get a lot of their players to go. They've never had as many to commit as they do right now. They literally have, if you go down the Dominican Republic lineup, they have almost the best player at each position. Especially the best player from the Dominican Republic at each position. They got the best player at each position to commit. USA nearly got the best player at each position to commit. I thought that was going to bridge the gap between U.S. and Japan. I thought Japan was going to be second fiddle now because U.S. and DR finally brought all their guys. I was wrong. Japan is just that good. They're just that good. They're not little brothered by these teams. They are every bit as good as U.S., every bit as good as the Dominican Republic. I don't think Venezuela is going to win this game, but I picked them to win this game beforehand, and I'm going to anyway. Maybe. Venezuela's been very okay. They cruised through the pool play until they ran into the DR and actually had a chance to win that game at the end. It just seemed like a very U.S.-style game. A little too late. They just couldn't get the bats going early on. They had a couple. Michael Garcia and Luis Arias had some run-scoring hits early in the game. And then they stayed silent, really, until the ninth inning. And that was more because of poor defense than it was because of them breaking out. Pitcher throws the game-ending double play ball into center field, keeping the game alive, bringing the winning run to home plate. It's part of the game, but it's misleading as to how the game actually ended. Japan, I was so wrong about where I thought they were going to be in comparison to U.S. and DR. I can't emphasize this enough. I thought they were going to regress, but no. They are just this good. Japanese baseball is alive and well. Their pitching has been exceptional. They are third in ERA, second in average against, second in whip, second in strikeouts. They don't have I don't think they have the depth that U.S. has when it comes to pitching. But they got top-tier talent, for sure. All right. My prediction. So I had my bracket. My bracket has shifted a little bit because I got a couple teams wrong. So I'm going to do a new one. Quarterfinals. I got Dominican Republic beating Korea. I got U.S. beating Canada. I have Italy beating Puerto Rico and Japan beating Venezuela. I really wanted to stick with my guns with Venezuela, but this Japanese team is just so good. So that leaves us with a semifinal matchup of U.S. and the Dominican Republic, which I had expected to come. I still think is going to come. And I still think that U.S. is going to win that game. And I think they're going to win that game because they have lined up Paul Skeens to be the starting pitcher for that game. And I think he and he alone is going to be the reason they win that game. I think he is going to contain that offense. I don't think he's going to go 7 shutout. But I think he's going to hold them to 2 runs across 6 to 7 innings. Probably 6 because they're going to take some pitches. I'm going to give him 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 runs. And he's going to leave the game with a 4-2 lead. And the bullpen of U.S., being that they shortened it, will be able to come in and take care of business. And then I have Japan against Italy. And I think the Italian Cinderella story is going to come to an end. I think the Japanese team is just too good. I think Italy's going to put up a fight. I don't think it's going to be 9-1 type game, but I think Japan just ultimately is just, they're just too good. They're too good. That leaves us with a finals matchup of Japan versus the United States of America. And I'm going to pick Japan. It's so far away from what I thought going into this tournament. But I'm gonna pick Japan to repeat. I'm gonna pick them to beat US again. I just think they're more prepared, maybe not more prepared, but more into the moment than US is. They're just more into it. It seems like US, yeah, they got the talent. And this goes for every sport, it seems like. When you get the pros involved. If it's amateurs, that's different. When you get these highly paid pros involved, United States as a culture is just so individualized and so selfish, really, for lack of a better word, that we market the individual. We don't care about the country. You market yourself. You try to get paid. These guys, look at he who must not be named. He could put all that aside. If this was Ohtani in this same situation, Ohtani will be playing right now. I promise you. He would not be doing what he who must not be named is doing. Ohtani will be playing. U.S. doesn't do that. U.S. cares about themselves. Sure, they're going to say, yeah, you get the name across your chest, and you probably have some. I know you have some that, like, I genuinely believe Paul Skeens, with his military background, he is Team USA no matter what. I believe that. And I believe that from a lot of the players, too. But overall, and the overarching theme is that they care about themselves. That's the way the United States teaches people to be. Japan wants to win this. Japan wants to show the world that the Japanese are better. U.S. wants to show the world that each person is better. And I got my $360 million contract, so I would love to win this. But if I don't win this, I still get to go home to my $24 million house. That's the way I see it. I think Japan wins because I think they want to win more than U.S. I think the Dominican is in that boat. I just think they're going to unfortunately run into Paul Skeens in the semis. So that's my prediction. My prediction is Japan winning the whole thing over the United States of America. Don't tell my kids. Yeah. And that's all I got. This has been one of the most exciting weeks of like sports that I've watched in my life. These games have been absolutely incredible. I will say, individuality or not, getting all of these players here has made these games so much fun because there is a level of competition in this tournament that we haven't seen in previous World Baseball Classics. The Dominican Republic team is just jumping and doing all sorts of acrobatic activities all over the field. They are having so much fun. Italy is having so much fun. They are so fun to watch. Japan is just like a well-oiled machine that just plows through anything that gets in their way. It's so much fun. If you don't enjoy this, I don't even know how to like relate to you. I don't know. It's so much fun. The point of this channel, the reason I started this channel was because the average baseball fan is getting older. We need to bring this to the younger generation, the people that love baseball. And they're trying to appease to the younger generation with some of these rule changes, with the automated ball strikes, with the pitch clock, all of these different things, the disengagement limits, the throwing over to first base limits. There used to be games 12 years ago between the Yankees and Red Sox that would take 4.5 hours because they would throw to first base 19 times in an at-bat because they're afraid of somebody stealing. I understand why people wouldn't want to watch that. It's not like that anymore. Watch these games. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy the tournament. I will probably have a finals preview episode. I think I'm going to wait until the semis is done, and then I will do a finals preview kind of quick shot episode. And then once the champion is crowned, we'll talk about it. I will say, subscribe and follow the channel because I do post a lot of previews, updates. I've been posting a lot of YouTube shorts and TikToks for pretty much every game that I've watched. It's been hard to watch all of the games because a lot of them are on at the same time. But I've been posting a lot, so like, subscribe, get those. Go to TikTok, follow me at TheBatBoyMLB. Follow there. I post a lot of stuff, so go check it out. And we'll see you next time. Enjoy the tournament. It's a lot of fun.